everyone, and welcome back to the Target Transfers podcast, the #1 heat printing podcast in the world. Today, Andy and I are joined by Stephen, the founder of Proud and Gifted, a community organisation that has a mission to celebrate the achievements of young people, which is a very, very interesting subject that we're going to talk more on today. So tell the people a bit about you. The listeners are going to be really keen to hear what you do, how it came about. So just a little intro, really.
No problem. Well, firstly, thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome.
Told you before, I was quite surprised.
Thanks for coming on.
And once you said, no, we want you to come, and I was like, wow. Because to me, this is a very big thing. Because I just believe there's not enough education around printing in this country.
Yeah.
As I said to you, most of my knowledge has come from obviously YouTube, but Americans, which is fine. It's got me to where I am, but you know, you've created a very good space.
Yeah, we're really
very good space. In fact, for my intro, by the way.
You're welcome.
Hello, everyone. I'm Stephen, the founder from Proud and Gifted, media platform where I go around the United Kingdom and I celebrate and award young people that's doing amazing things. Why do I do this? I just believe back in 2018, I couldn't find a space that just celebrated young people 24/7. Not just share a positive story today, then next few days, it's a negative story. I just couldn't find that space. So I created what I couldn't find. And
that's the quote that I read on your website as well.
Very inspiring. Yeah, thank you. Just create what I couldn't find. It's been a fantastic journey. It's taken me places where it's never been on my tick list, but the main focus is always young people. You see me on the camera so much times, but that's just to highlight what we do at Proud and Gifted, and doing that has brought me here today.
Yeah. You said on your website that when we turn on our televisions, the representation of our young people is so negative, and there are so many out there who are not like that. I wanted to put some attention on the good ones because they deserve it. Is that what powers you on to run Proud and Gifted and to keep awarding young people and seeing the light on their faces every time you award them with a certificate, or you go and visit them, or you share their message across social platforms, things like that?
That's correct. That's exactly what it is. In my job, I support and assist vulnerable people and juveniles in the police station. It's called an appropriate adult. Been doing that for 11 years now. So I see both sides to young people. And I just believe the negative side to young people, which I think is a small percentage, but it grabs their attention.
Yeah.
And I've done youth work before, and I've had young people say to me, like, I've never got in trouble before, but I don't go on residential trips. I don't do this, I don't do that. Then it's not a problem to explain to them that some young people they're in this position where they need help.
Yeah.
And it looks like because they're bad, they're getting rewarded. It doesn't work like that, but it looks like that.
Okay.
So that's why I thought, right, with all these conversations for so much years, I had the idea to do Proud and Gifted. It's got to be about 8 years ago. But it's like anything, you start something, you leave it. 1 year I put a video out and expecting it's going to do well. Just sat there because if you don't put the work in, so the way Proud and Gifted was started, it was a conversation with my sister Esther, sitting there on WhatsApp. She goes to me, you've got to find anything that represents what you're doing. So I'm always buying domain names. I bought Proud this, Young this, Gifted that. Once I come up with Proud and Gifted, that moment, August 2018, sent it to my sister. She goes, yeah, even up to this day, she thinks she owns Proud and Gifted. You know, family. Yeah. She's that silent partner that just says, because her and my wife are always at each other's throat. What do you do for Proud and Gifted? But yeah, but it's good to have a laugh with family. But it was that conversation with Esther. Again, my younger sister. I have no issues listening to younger people around me.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I've done. The focus has to be on, they are the majority, but they shine like the minority. It's positive young people. You can't tell me what we see in the media every day, knife crime, gang violence. That's what a majority of young people are. So the answer is no. When I started Proud and Gifted, I always said, oh, I'm not here to fight against the media. 4 years later, that's exactly what I'm doing now, because I realized that yeah, if I can shine that light on a positive young people or group of young people,
Yeah.
I'll keep doing it. And I feel it's one of the greatest feelings. What we do, we award every young person with a personalized certificate. Depending after what we decide, one of them might get a personalized medal, personalized trophy, and now they all get one merchandise each.
Okay.
Yeah, we give them one t-shirt each now. And that's to show them how positive they are outside of the people around them.
Mm-hmm.
So a stranger loves what you do, they believe in you. And I take that story and I just share it for the world to see how positive they are.
Yeah.
That's so the merchandise started, I think this year, I'm in a position where I'm happy to give them a merchandise as well.
Yeah.
And to date, we've given out 170 awards.
Wow.
But when it was lockdown, slowed it down a great deal, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah.
We gave out one award online. I'll be honest with you, it weren't the same. Because once people turn off their cameras,
It's flat.
Yeah,
no,
it's
yeah,
dead.
The atmosphere's gone.
yeah, it's gone. So the way Proud and Gifted work, I would find out if a young person's exhibiting or performing or they're going to speak at an event, contact the event organizers to say, we'd like to come down there. Before it was easier. No one knew who Proud and Gifted was. I'll tell you what, them days were great. I said, go to the event. Nobody knew who we were. Obviously now it's changed. As I go there, I've got people saying to me, you're the man that celebrates young people. And I always tell them, no, thank you very much. So during the event, let's move it forward now. A young person might know who I am, but I can think on my feet. So if I see that you have rapport with the young person outside of their family, I will give you the award to hold.
Okay.
And I'll ask you to surprise them with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So where they think
So they don't see it coming.
don't see it coming.
Okay.
Yeah. So even though
You've just given away your secret now.
no, it's fine because there's so much different ways. As soon as I get to a place, I will know. Okay, boom. The young person knows that person, or that person, and I just find a way to let them hold it. And once they're ready, and the reason why I do that, I want them to feel special in that moment. I want them to. I've had young people 20 minutes later playing with their medal, showing their friends their certificate. I do that purposely so that the spotlight is on them.
Because they deserve it.
They deserve it. And young people they don't have to be entrepreneurs. It could be anything. You can have a young family member who has been late for school for 2 terms. Third time, for some odd reason, they've turned it around. That's something to celebrate.
Yeah.
That is an achievement. When they are entrepreneurs, that's fine, but I've awarded young people for just attending a organization for like a year because they were nominated. It's what you believe the young person should be celebrated.
It's about celebrating, like you just said, the small achievements in between those.
Trust
Like if you
me.
start a business, your end goal might be to, I don't know, have so many followers or sell so many shirts or have a certain brand reputation, that kind of thing. But all of the small steps along the way are things that it's like gratification, is it? You think, yes, I've achieved that. It gives you the motivation to power on and do something else and do something more. And that's exactly what you're talking about doing for young people. It might not be, like you say, some people's achievements they're all different,
Believe
but
me.
they're all worth celebrating. Yeah.
Yeah, what somebody might think, that's not worth celebrating. To people like us, yes, it is, because you've turned something around.
Yeah.
I celebrated this young lady one time called Amazing Angel, December 2020. She was my second award. I tell you why I remember this girl. She was a book author and a motivational speaker. I videoed her for nearly 8 minutes, one take. I just stood there like that. My name is Amazing Angel. Boom, boom, boom. I just stood there like that outside Lakeside Shopping Centre. I kid you not. And I think at the time, I'm sure she was, without exaggerating, maybe 10 or 11. Because that same year, I was invited on radio station. Can I say radio? Can I say it? Yeah. I was invited on the BBC, and Tim Arthur was his name. He plugged her book twice because he said he's never seen a young person sell themselves like that. And that day I filmed her, one take. I went home and I was like, wow. And she was grateful for her certificate, for her medal. Because when I first started, I always had medals engraved. This is something that I thought, along with the certificate, so I was paying for everything myself, but Amazing Angel, tell you what, I can still hear a ring in my ears. But again, that was my second one. The first one I've done, my friend's son called Ron. He's a video producer. Is he a producer? He does so much. But he produced a very big music video. But I've always used to watch him in the house, and I just thought his knowledge of editing and filming. So what we done, I asked him to film me a promo video locally. So done that, but always had his medal on me. Turned the camera around and I said, Ron, I'd like to award you for what you're doing. First he said to me, oh, no one's ever given nothing for doing this yet. I kind of looked at him like, okay. His reaction, I've got it up on my page, but his reaction, that was my first unscripted way to celebrate a young person, by the way. Because I think I gave him the medal in the car again after. But when he said to me, no one's ever given nothing, and he's done some big video shoots. And that was December 18. That's when I realized. I said to myself, there's got to be consistent, because the way I learned very quickly social media, you could put a video out today, by a weekend, people want more, or they've moved on, or
It's very quick.
It's very quick. And I clocked that, I think after my third video, I clocked it, I realized, okay, what's next? And that's when I realized that I got more, that's why I became more consistent in what I do. And lockdown really slowed me down, but what I'd done to keep going, I celebrated anyone that was a key worker. And that was over our age, because the age we celebrate is roughly 9 years old, because you can tell if social media's run by a parent. So from 9 up until 25, that's kind of our age group bracket. But during lockdown, I just celebrate anyone as a key worker. I just know there's so much of them. So I've done that for about a year. When I tried to meet somebody after lockdown, it was a bit difficult because everyone's mindset changed. Yeah. Social distancing was in place. So I'd meet a family, and so I just thought, no, we'll just leave it for a little while. But I just continued sharing stories of young people.
It's one of those things as well that people are pleased that it's back, and
Trust
that you've come back stronger than ever. Yes, you might have had a bit of a slower period during lockdown, but that doesn't mean that, Pride and Gift has gone away. It's back and you're still going. And I think people are probably more excited because they've had that period of not being able to do that they maybe appreciate it more.
Yeah, that's very true. Because since we've come fully out of lockdown, personally, it's changed for me, because I always wear my t-shirt. Yeah. Anywhere I go. And when I go out now, a lot of people, it's nice when the public come up to you, because they don't have to, but they choose. And I let them know, thank you so much. They come to say, oh, you're the gentleman we see online that celebrates young people. Thank you for what you do. And it's nice. You can easily lose track of what you're doing if you get caught up in that. But I know I've got to do what I'm doing to celebrate young people, to raise awareness.
Yeah, but you also need to take those moments, because
I'm taking them.
It's amazing for other people. So when people compliment you, take it.
No, I'm taking it. I'm learning to take it. Before, I'll take it, but no, I'm really taking it now, because I watched a podcast there with Swiss Beats, and he said something quite interesting. He goes, we have to accept that what we're doing, like yourselves, creating this space, people are complimenting you. Just take it. I'm gonna be honest with you. In my culture, some people look at you like you're getting big-headed. And I think that's why my culture, we play it down a bit. It's just mad how it works sometimes. But then you've got to flip it and realize, no, it's true. Every day I work on Proud and Gifted. Every day. I'll leave here today. By the time I get home, all are filmed. I'll put it together, do a quick reel for us, or I'll go on YouTube and just find out ways to grow it more. I work on it every day. So you're right. When people are paying me nice compliments, I do really take it.
Yeah. And there's a difference between acknowledging your successes and being big-headed. A massive difference.
Yeah, there is, but some people actually...
It's a personality type, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it depends who you're talking to.
Yeah. Because this has always been Stephen. Like, when I first started it, some of my friends used to have debates with people saying, oh, he's just smiling on camera because he's on camera. About after 2.5 years later, my friend said to me, his work colleague said, straight, no, that guy's actually real because he's still smiling. This is my character.
Yeah.
And I've learned that people buy into you, then your business. So I thought, okay, I'm going to crack on and do it more. You can see when I came up to you like, at the print where...
I saw you coming and I was like, oh, there's Stephen.
I was like...
In his Proud and Gifted t-shirt.
I was like, oh, there's my girl from... Because we had a Zoom session together. Yeah. And I said, look. And then saw yourself. I actually sat on one of your...
On the presentations.
Yeah. I actually sat on one of them. And... it was
I
just
think
nice.
I caught you in our behind the scenes vlog actually.
See?
There was the corner of your head in one of them when I was editing it afterwards.
Yeah, because I love learning, and I've realized that when you have a business, if you don't keep learning, it ain't gonna grow.
No.
And I've also understood, learn from the experts, and hence why it's got me here today. But yeah, I love what I do at Proud and Gifted. Seriously, love what I do.
While we're on the topic of achievements, there's a couple of things I've been meaning to bring up with you since you've been sitting in the podcast chair. One of which, you were on the BBC One show not that long ago, to being nominated for carrying one of the Queen's batons during the Jubilee ceremony. Tell us about that.
That's mad.
It was a good
That
experience.
was mad. My friend Gary, who I call him my advisor, when I've got an idea, I'll contact Gary. You know that person that just simplifies things. But he said to me he nominated me. I didn't know that. So I got the nomination through, and I'm going to be honest with everyone. When it said Birmingham Commonwealth Games, I was thinking, they're not going to pick me to carry the baton because I live in London. That's how fickle I was thinking. On the final day, I filled it in. I'll tell you why I filled it in. I thought, if someone's taken time out to nominate me, let me completed it. And then he spoke to Gary about a couple of years later. He says to me, Steve, did you ever get this nomination? So I found out it was him. I said, no, thanks. Fast forward, the One Show contacted me to say, the Commonwealth Games said the One Show's interested in a few stories and yours is one of them. So I said, cool. But they said, you haven't been nominated yet. So I was thinking, I kept questioning, why would they want to film me? And I haven't been nominated. But I won't lie to you.
You're playing your own game.
Yeah, they played it good.
Yeah,
but I was happy to get the content. I kid you not. I was just happy to get that BBC content. Come down on the day. My daughter came with me because obviously it was all arranged. Arranged to do it at...
I saw that on you put it on your Instagram, didn't you? The clip.
Yeah.
Of them at the One show with your daughter.
Yeah. So I contacted the Lift Hub in Islington youth club run by a lady called Judith. And within hours, she said they agreed. I think they agreed it the Friday. We filmed the Sunday. Sorry, but my daughter came with me. And then when the BBC, obviously, they were there, they're setting up. Boy, they pulled out some big cameras. Pulled out some very big cameras.
They came to you, right? You didn't go to the BBC?
Yeah, no, we just arranged a meeting because they said, let's keep it authentic rather than do it in your house. So I didn't want to do it in my house because that's quite, in my eyes, that's boring. So we arranged to do it at a youth club. So when they came, took all the cameras, the guy goes to me, would like your daughter with you on camera. I said, you're gonna have to ask her yourself. I need her on camera, don't get me wrong, father and daughter thing. But I said to him, she's a grown woman, you have to ask yourself. So about 10 minutes, she was like, no, just come to, I was there honestly for nearly 15 minutes. they're just having a conversation, and she said, "All right." They said to me, "You won't be on it for long." And then they was asking me questions. Then they produced the envelope, and yeah, I was nominated. That's
And they
when,
caught your reaction live on camera.
yeah, that's when the penny dropped. Because the first one I done, Taryn said, "Riri, look," and she was so nervous that
She
day.
didn't look it. I didn't pick up on
She
that.
was, yeah, she was so, because what it was, obviously, they got the lighting like yourselves, but then there was about 3 or 4 big cameras dotted around the place. The guy, Richie, presenter, was cool. He did relax her. Only when they produced the envelope to myself, that's when I realized, wow, I'm actually going to carry the baton for the Queen. And yeah, so that was on we done it during the Jubilee Platinum concert. We done it, I think that was a Sunday or the Saturday. I think it was July the 4th, no, June the 4th. And where I carried it was in Tower of London, where the poppies are. I carried it in that section.
Yeah.
There's about 5 of us. They made us feel so special that day. But they had asked us previously if we wanted to carry it on the stage at the Platinum concert at Buckingham Palace. So I was like, yeah, cool. We thought we was going to carry it during the actual thing, but it was before the concert. But yeah, they brought it on stage, asked us a few questions. There was hundreds of people there. Yeah, that experience, I'll be honest with you, that was quite emotional. I'm going to share a video later today. When I handed the baton over, I actually cried like this. This was hard. I think everything just came down to me like, this is what you've achieved, celebrating young people. And everybody was right. Stephen, this is about you. This moment here is about you, yourself, for what you do for young people. But that was it's a great experience. You know me, I got so much footage that I haven't shared it. Got so much. I shared a video today, and my sister says, "I forgot you've done that." I said, "Yes, I've got so much." But it was nice. My niece was there, my sister, my daughter, wife Cynthia, Lorraine, family friend, was always there with us. It was just nice. And organizers made them walk around with me with the baton as well.
I bet that made it feel just that bit more special than having those people by your side.
Yeah, and then we went to, only myself could go, so went home, had something to eat, freshened up, then went to the Platinum concert later that night. And a few people might be asking, like, how did I get all these pictures? Basically, we all left, and then somebody says to me outside, because they made us go outside the concert because we done our bit.
Yeah.
Then I don't know who the person was, but the person said to me, "You was just inside carrying a baton." I said, "Yeah, but we've had to leave," which is fine because obviously it's that's what the procedure was. The person said, "No, I work here, etc., etc." Took me back inside, and that night I got pictures with Rod Stewart, got pictures with Alicia Keys, Swiss Beats, I think Diversity, Tom Daly, Jessica Ellis, quite a few people. I took selfies with them.
It was a busy evening.
But by the time Diana Ross came on, TM Body was that. I'd left and I was standing by her changing room most of the night. Body was that.
It's a long day.
Yeah, it was a long day.
A lot of emotion as well.
Yeah, because we had to be at Tower of London for 7 o'clock in the morning. And my family had to be there at that time with me as well.
But you didn't sleep the night before, did you?
See, think about it. We had a family party the night before my cousin's 30th.
Oh, that was brave.
But everybody made sure I left the venue by, I think it was 11 or 11:30. Because now me, I think, because I do like to socialize, I think I'd have stayed longer, but they made sure I left. I couldn't sleep that night. You're right, I couldn't sleep. Went home, went to bed, I couldn't sleep. Because obviously I didn't know what to expect the next day. But the Baton Bearer Committee, I can only say thank you very much for how you made us all feel so special They made us throughout the whole day, because they reminded us this is your moment.
Yeah.
You need to take it in. Yeah. So yeah, and the Commonwealth starts today. So, but no, thank you for that.
No, it's a really great moment. I mean, we've been following your journey for a couple of years now. I think when we first came across you, so we felt really proud of you, because you can see the hard work you're putting in consistently. And it's nice to see that you get rewarded for that as well.
Yeah, it's nice
based on everything you do for lots of other people.
It's nice.
One thing I was really curious about, because obviously what you're doing, I think, is a fantastic project. Really, really great to see you promoting positive stories. But if someone wanted to do they just get in touch with you to nominate people? How does it work in terms of if someone's listening to this, how could they help highlight someone they know is
all they have
doing
to
something
do?
Great?
Sorry, all they've got to do. I still control all my social media, so they can email info@proudandgifted.co.uk. Social medias, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram @proudandgifted. And I had a nomination form, but I think it was too complicated, so we've removed it. They can just send us an email or DM, and then we'll contact them back and ask them a few questions.
Yeah.
And then people are not nominating enough.
Okay.
Most of the young people I'm celebrating is what I've researched. They're not. I don't know why.
Too humble, maybe.
Yeah. Someone contacted me last week. Called a lady yesterday. She was so surprised, shocked. I said, no, it's cool. But I said, no, thank you for that. She's gonna get, because I think it was a friend. I said, well, speak to the parents. If they're happy, I'll speak to them. Mm-hmm. And then, as you say, we'll get things moving. One of the most memorable moments for me is I celebrated a young boy called Josh at Eton College. Mm-hmm. And he applied for Eton himself. So I went there in 2019. Again, at the end of his page, when he replied, I was excited. I'm like that, because I'm thinking, in my eyes, you're a superstar.
Yeah.
So he contacted me back, went down there for the day. They've got an open day, he's part of it, because I think he just left. Took me there, took me on a tour. His name was etched in the library. Yeah, it was crazy. Done that, and he made me meet the headmaster. So again, while speaking to the headmaster, I said to him, who was he? He goes, no, I'm aware who you are. So I said to him, I'd like you to surprise Josh with a certificate, but I don't know how we're going to do it. He goes, don't worry about that. Went in the big yard and right in front of one of their statues. Surprised Josh right there. And I'm standing because everything you see me film is on my mobile phone. Mm-hmm. I've learned to just use what I've got. I've got DSLR cameras, but I just think the quality of mobile phones, it does a good enough job. So I just stood there with my phone and my gimbal and caught Josh's reaction. And then after that, Eton invited me down for their first, they never had a Black History Month before.
Wow.
Never. Went down there. It was a beautiful evening, and just talking to it was all the boys, obviously of all cultures, and it was nice. And that was 2019, but then obviously lockdown came after that. But yeah, it was a good experience, because it's no secret places ain't designed for people like myself. We don't need to pretty up. Mm-hmm. So it was just nice to see young Black boys there, and obviously non-Black boys learning about each other's cultures. It was good. It was a good. I went there twice. I've still got footage that I filmed that I ain't showed you, because I've just learned to film to edit.
Yeah,
just filmed. I learned that obviously online. Just film to edit. But that was a very good day, because even when you pull up outside Eton, I swear you get goosebumps, because you see the building and you think you know the history. Yeah, man. Then when I went in there, obviously see Boris's name there and all them leaders, it's like, wow. Mm. But again, that wasn't on my tick list. I saw his story online, because what I like to do, if there's a young person's story online, I won't contact them straight away, because I know everybody's going to be on them. I'll give it a couple of weeks, then Proud and Gifted will be in touch to see if we can celebrate you further and leave your content for people to see at a later date. So that's how we contact some people that's like blown in the media.
Your one of the stories that I looked at on your website and on your Instagram before you came into the podcast was a lady named Alina who was 13 and she was the youngest Black person to get accepted into medical school. It just left me speechless. 13 years old and she's gone to med school.
And like you, I saw it online because once I see a story, I will always look further, look beyond the story just to make sure it's creditable.
Yeah.
So I went on a few, again, that's another story in America. I went on a few pages and then I found it on New York, one of the New York newspapers. So I thought, cool. Found her page, contacted her. Always just see if they will reply. I said, obviously, UK, we celebrate young people. And they messaged back to say, yeah, please share it if you can. I was like, wow. Because I'm like that. I'm quite a big kid sometimes. So that story, when I read it, I was like,
I didn't believe it.
How is it possible?
I had to read it twice.
But them stories are out there. And I can't put a number on how much young people have celebrated like that because that's just, I should have kept a track on it, and I put her story on my main page because what a lot of people tend to do, which is fine, they put it in their stories, but I like to put it on my page to give them that extra moment.
Yeah.
Would they ever contact me again? I doubt it. But initially, someone did from her page. But yeah, you're right. That age, imagine what she can go on to do. I read it and I was like, wow. Then the next few days, I kept seeing it pop up on so much different. A lot of people say to me sometimes, like, where do you find the stories or how? I just saw it on the internet.
Okay, so one of the things I wanted to ask you, Steve, is obviously one of the ways that you help keep the Proud and Gifted message going, the way you help to fund what you do as well is through your own merchandise as well. So could you tell us about how you got started and why you chose T-shirt printing as the way to help push the message a bit further even?
Yeah, sure. The way I learned it was on YouTube. I wanted a product. And I think the easiest thing is always a T-shirt. And this was to me, this is the original logo. I've got another one that's not in a circle, but I've always loved this one. But I've done a survey and they prefer the other logo. So I have gone with what my customers want, but this is my first logo. I was getting it printed by a company at first. I think my first T-shirt I ever got done was June 20, I think it was 2020. Just went to a shop, asked them to do a T-shirt. God knows what they gave me back, to be honest, but I got back what I more or less wanted. I think at that time I paid £20. Then the odd person wanted one. I was thinking, it's a bit much to charge people considering that I won't make not a pound. So I sat there for about 6 months, just kept researching, and all my knowledge came from America, even though their setup is different to ours. Whereas they can print stuff, put it in all their friends' shops. I just believe that we don't have that luxury in the UK.
Yeah.
So I started to print, and the first order I done, I just took people's orders. They didn't have to pay nothing. They paid me when I sent it to them. 90% was friends anyway, but I still posted it and met them. It took up a lot of time, but it actually felt really good. Like really good that people were interested in my product. So I've done the first batch, and to all the people that I've promised stuff to, I'm sure there's loads of you. I guess it's just one of them things. But I promise. Because in the beginning, I didn't like charging my friends. Which is silly, but I just didn't like doing it. So I promised most of them. I've given out loads of free T-shirts, but I chose to.
Yeah.
I've given out loads of free t-shirts. Second batch came, that was fine. And then I don't know, I think it was the way I was ordering, I just thought, no, it's got to be a better way than this. Again, research, heat press, and I actually purchased it from one of your agents, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came. Oh, message to the agent, by the way. They delivered 2 heat presses by accident. I sent one back, and they never came back to me to say, they promised something, but they never did. But yeah, they delivered 2. Honesty, see, me as well. Your mindset changes as well when I guess you're running a business. But yeah, they sent me 2. They sent me the auto clamp and the one that's not an auto clamp. I think it's the one below it.
Okay. The Max Press, maybe.
Yeah, or they both were, because I ordered the heat press I own is the auto clamp. Yeah. After all my research, I was gonna get, I think it's 2 models below, but then I realized for the extra couple of £100, I decided to go with the auto clamp.
Yeah.
Because I think they're right. It does save time.
I think as well, when you're busy, you've got a million things going on at once. It just pops back up for you. It's nice and easy.
And you remove it, yeah. So, but yeah, they sent 2.
And you sent one back.
Sent one back. I think a lot of my friends are quite surprised, but your mindset changes. So I got that, and it just became easier on how to print. But what I done before ordering my heat press, I think I had about maybe 3 or 4 suppliers for t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that there. I went through days and nights understanding how the press works, the transfers. Then I realized one color is dirt cheaper. So I've always had one color up until a few weeks ago. But when I realized one color, then if we do it smaller, it was cheaper again. I was like, okay. But I had all this, I completed all my research as best as I can before purchasing the heat press. I still question, is it a great investment? But people around me saying, Stephen, don't be stupid. That is an investment. For what I paid for it, I guess one good serious order or big order. But I'm happy with what I bought. I just think I've dragged my feet to supply more t-shirts or jumpers or whatever. Yeah. And that's my fault. That's just building a platform, trying to focus on one thing, then getting distracted for another thing. But so I now understand smaller logo, cost effective. My last 2 orders for myself are the Max.
So it's multicolor.
Yeah, so much. I don't think it's any different texture.
No.
Yeah, because when I tested at the trade show, I thought it's still the same. But I think I prefer the hot pill. Even though the cold pill was cool, you wait 2-3 minutes. I just think the hot pill is the one. So I've ordered my second batch already. It's just, I think it's easier to order gang sheets.
Yeah.
If you got more than one logo.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because you can get much better profit margins every item as well.
Yeah, and different. And as much as when I went to the trade show, I didn't leave there with a lot of knowledge, but I learned some very important things.
Yeah. And
that was when you said you're going to release your Max one. And I felt it and I thought, cool. Then it's funny, yourself, you're the one that first said, no one ever said it was a hot pill at all. And I saw you.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. I thought they must have said it, but I never heard them say it. I'm thinking hot pill. Cool. You might think what's 2-3 minutes, but it's a big difference.
Mm.
It's a big difference. And so my first order was screen prints.
Yeah.
Second one, I never know what they were, but I think they were the screen print. But yeah, I do it all in house now.
Yeah.
Aim is to really learn more from yourselves to scale up. Definitely. I just think you're filling a space that I couldn't find again in 2019. Maybe most of the videos on YouTube are American led. But what you lot have started is really good. It's needed.
Mhm. Education is so vital, and this is something that me, myself, and Molly are always trying to educate ourselves on marketing and what we're trying to do here. But I think the people that succeed in life are the ones that continue to educate. You've
Trust
got to
me.
be humble enough to be like, okay, yeah, I can learn something new every day, because there's always going to be something that we're like, oh, I wish, okay, that's great, I can tweak that, and now I'm like, say, the hot pill, okay, a hot pill,
cool.
I can if I can save 5 seconds every time. By the end of the year, I could have another day of my life back to do something.
It's a big difference, yeah, because I
go
would
and send some awards and some medals and meet some people instead.
because I'd press them, leave it there, make sure I've left it for a few seconds, go back, or minutes already, and then go back. But with a hot pill, nice to say.
Straight away.
Yeah, but yeah, it's
It's all about scaling up, isn't it?
yeah, and that's
I mean,
the
you
thing.
look at the set that we used to sit in to do our podcast. I mean, everyone has to start somewhere, we're well aware, but
Yeah, I remember that
that compared to this,
because it had a table in it. Is that right?
it's that table over there.
It's the conference room.
Okay,
really,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we reckon.
And as I said, hope they don't get offended, but I have to say, just the sound quality. And look now.
We went through quite
This is a nice setup, by the way. This is a
Yeah,
cool
very
setup.
good.
I have to say,
We
cool
did go
setup.
through quite a few different mic options, didn't we? But as I say, it takes time, it takes testing,
Trust me.
and there's different. It's the same with transfers. You're going to do a few different designs. You're going to try a few different blank t-shirt brands before you find the sweet spot of the perfect mix.
And I had my first transfer to bring it out, left it. It came out wrong because I didn't read the instructions.
Oh wow!
Kid you not,
Okay.
half of it. Peeled off and I was like, no. And I think it was my third one. No, the first hoodie I done, again, not concentrating. It was upside down.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah, upside down.
Oh, yeah.
And you took it off and I was like, since then, I kid you not, when I'm pressing, I don't look at my phone. Nothing.
In the zone.
Because I have to say, the first hoodie I printed, upside down. And the second hoodie, didn't leave it long enough, half ripped off. I've kept them because, as I say, keep it as a reminder.
This
But
is
yeah,
where I started.
Yeah.
This is where I am now.
kid you not, yeah. And it's funny. I didn't listen to the 10 or 12 second pill on the first one, and I destroyed the thing. It's not saying it was minutes or hours. It
They
was
have a very specific recipe for a reason. People that even try and change it by a few seconds, you don't need to. There's a reason that we test them to such specific settings.
Tell you what I was doing though, mine was leaving scorch marks.
Mhm.
So again, I kept going online, but then I realized medium press, I've got mine set at 4.
Yep.
I think I had it at 6 because it said 4 to 6, and I realized no. So I've got it. I had it set at 4, and it's been fine. It was just annoying that scorch mark. Then you're thinking, because you always think of the customer now.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And every time I press one, the way I go over it, I think I exaggerate, but you think of the customer. I do neck labels, but I haven't really been using them. But I've got neck labels that I got from
It's a
yourselves.
great way of, going back to your question about what can you do to scale, but the neck label is like the ultimate business card for a heat printer.
Yeah.
Because
I've got
when
neck
you're doing
labels.
either your own work or, we were discussing earlier, some other places where you might be able to be heat printer to you, heat machine to use, is that then someone picks up their top and, this is great, love the quality in this, and Prime Gifted. Maybe
That's
I'll get in
what's
touch, and then you never know who might pick it up. Actually, do you know what? I need 200 t-shirts for this event in a couple of weeks.
Bring them orders. Bring them
Exactly.
orders.
So I think you might have answered my next question already about what is the most important thing you've learned as a heat printer. Is that probably
Put
following
it
the
on the
recipe?
right way around.
Trust me. Yeah.
Concentrated.
As funny as it is, when I took off that first pill, I was like, how did I do that? But then I realized, weren't concentrating. Like that's the first one. I could not believe it. When I done the second one, concentrated, it was fine. It's just amazing how that device can do so much things.
Mhm.
And I haven't really used it to that scale.
Yeah, it's quite astonishing. There's not really any industry that we can't make a transfer that you can manufacture it for. It's one of those things. I mean, we notice it more. Having worked here, like we were discussing off mic a minute ago, I've been here 4.5 years. But once you've done it a couple of times and you've used it, like every time you go into a shop now, I'm like, "Oh, what's that made of? I wonder if that's one of
Yeah,
our
I do
tones."
find myself
And you
doing
start
that.
to
I think
realise.
I feel it.
Yeah.
I pick it. I feel the quality of the t-shirt.
I'm like, no, that's lifting. I'm not buying that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, do I want to spend so much knowing how much that I am really cost to put to, yeah, it's mad.
I went into Nike earlier and they had a new sweatshirt and it had like the tick on it, but
Okay.
it was it almost looked like thick velvet, like rug kind of material.
Is
but
that
it
that
looked
puff?
like it was stuck on.
Is like that puff?
No, it was soft. It was almost
Okay.
like the rug, but it looked like it was stuck
Mm.
on. It didn't look like it was embroidered. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. See, and as you said, because can't deny you're a specialist at this. Even for you to say that night tick was really good, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was a good.
Because you are, you
I
can't
like
deny
the
you are an
number.
expert.
I nearly bought it. I did nearly buy it. I might go back tomorrow.
Yeah, because you are an expert. But yeah, it's funny. After I've done a few presses and I got to understand garment, going to shop was quite difficult.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling the quality of the t-shirt and I'm thinking, I know how much you paid for that.
Especially when they do it at places like Nike and things like that. The scale
Pence.
they do it at,
Pence.
it's mad.
But yeah, learning. That's all I do.
So one of the things I was really curious to talk to you about is obviously one of the core thing you do is you go out and you celebrate these young people, and I was really curious to know what you tell them, because obviously one of the things we talk about sometimes here is for trying to talk about motivation for businesses. I wondered what you tell these people, because obviously you want to celebrate them, but I imagine you want to make a lasting impression, to be like, it's not just what this moment today. You want to try and help to take them on even further. Is there anything you say to them or advice you give to people to be like, okay, now the hard work, because I imagine it's gone, but now the hard work starts. What's next?
Yeah. Because all I honestly say to them is that the first one says to me, you're gonna have bad days.
Mm-hmm.
We all have bad days. But think of times like this or another important part of your journey. Go back to that and that will elevate you again, because some days I'll pick up my phone thinking, oh, what content today? Even though I schedule them, I plan them, you wake up thinking, oh. But as I say to them, just think of, even if you use this moment, if you've never been celebrated before, use this moment to think, well, Proud and Gifted love what I do. They've took time out to celebrate me and spend time with me. Just use that as a stepping stone. But I don't ever see myself as a motivational speaker. But I'm good at gassing up young people. I ain't gonna lie to
Could
say.
you do 9 minutes without a break in one take?
No. And that's the difference. People look at me and think, oh, your videos are good. If they know how much times I restart a video that's 1 minute long, because it's the way.
Trust me, we do.
The amount of videos, people say, oh, your video's so good. If you know how long it took me to finally get there. But honestly, it's just encouraging a young person that just keep believing in yourself. Only you can stop yourself from reaching beyond the stars.
Yeah.
Nobody else can. Only you can decide, do I want to continue and reach the next level, or am I happy where I am?
Yeah.
And for me, I tell him straight, if when I was growing up at your age, if there was a Proud and Gifted, I'd have been over the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Not because it's me, but if it's another company that does the same thing what I do, I'd have been over the moon.
Yeah.
But I guess it was limited then because of social media, and I think the world changes a lot anyway.
Yeah.
But that's all I tell them. Just keep believing in yourself. Not everybody's gonna get your message. Some of my family members don't get my message, but deep down, I know they're rooting for me and they believe in me.
Yeah.
And I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Marathon, not sprint.
Yeah, because I tell a lot of people, if you think sometimes your family and your friends not sharing your stuff, look at yourself and think, have you always shared your family member or your friend's business? And the answer is no. So don't take it personal.
Yeah.
Family will always root for you, even if it's secretly. I know you got rooting for me. They'll always root for you. That's what families are for. Build your business for strangers. Once you do that, there ain't that much pressure. That's after about the first year. On WhatsApp, I never share my stuff because I think my WhatsApp is not for business. I don't share none of my videos. If you notice on my social media, I never ping it to people in their DMs. Please share, please share. No, I believe if you like it, you're going to share it. Yeah. Everyone's different. People, it works for some people. I'm just happy to organically let it grow.
I think people are more inclined to share it if they're not forced to as well. If they think, oh, that's really cool, and
Yeah.
then they will. If you ask them to, I mean, yeah, friends and family might like to give you a head start or help you out or what have you, but yeah, the majority of it is organic.
Organics, yeah,
And
just kick back and relax, and we all have bad days. I've got 2 reels on my Instagram. One's on 1.6 mil. I think the other one's on 1 million. So it shows that it can, whatever you're posting can work. Just takes time.
yeah,
I believe I'm going to wake up.
Consistency.
Yeah, I believe I'm going to wake up one day and Proud and Gifted is going to have hundreds of thousands of followers. It's just the algorithm.
Yeah.
If the algorithm likes you, you could pay for whatever you want. But if that algorithm does like you, because I've got what, on about 7,500 followers on Instagram. I've had a reel, as I said, 1.6 million views. How? Because the algorithm I like to think it's me, but I think it's more, if the algorithm falls in love with you, that's it. But consistency, that's the one.
Yeah.
Can't post today and then post in a week's time and thinking, oh, nothing's happened. I engage with everyone that comments on most of my social medias, even if I like it, just to show them that the end user does see and appreciate.
I love it.
Yeah.
Great.
It's cool, man.
Excellent. Well, I think that's all of our questions for today. I'm sure it won't be the last time you come on our podcast. So I just wanted to remind everyone, if you know of a positive story you think needs to be celebrated, make sure you get in touch with Stephen on Proud and Gifted. If you are really inspired by a story like myself and Molly are today,
Thank you.
go ahead and buy one of his t-shirts, because I think that it's going to go to a really positive cause and can really help continue this great initiative that you're following.
Yeah, because most just like to say that every percentage of the purchases, they go towards celebrating a young person.
I think it's really
Yeah. It's not that it's just all for profit. Like to pay for medals and certificates, and it helps with my travel to travel around, because we go all around the United Kingdom to celebrate young people. And I'd just like to say thank you so much for inviting me today.
It's our pleasure.
I told you, man, it means a lot. Proud and Gifted, what do? We celebrate young people's achievements. And so far, we have awarded 170 young people. I believe I'm behind for myself, even with lockdown, but you're going to see much, much more stories. I'd just like to say thank you to everyone that has been with us from the beginning. Even if you just joined us for the first time, thank you for taking time out. And I can't thank you guys enough.
You're more than welcome.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you very much for joining us.
That's cool,
And
man.
I'd just like to remind everyone that if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. If you don't follow us on socials, do that at Target Transfers and at Target Transfers Podcast. And we will be back next Thursday at 11:30 a.m. with another episode.
I've got one request.
Oh, go on then.
I did this thing where I asked Proud and Gifted, what do?
Okay.
And you repeat, we celebrate young people's achievements.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't get it wrong on camera.
Oh, God, that's pressure. We celebrate young people's achievements.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Proud and Gifted, what do?
Celebrate young people.
You didn't tell me to start.
See that? All right. Proud and Gifted, what do?
We celebrate young people's achievements.
I'm not really feeling that. Proud and Gifted.
We celebrate young people's achievements.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you so much.
Bye.